What are we gonna do tonight, O.C.G?
Well, the same thing we try to do every night, Bertrum. Take over YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Obsessive Compulsive Gaming. I am the Obsessive Compulsive Gamer, joined once again by my faithful manservant, Bertrum. Say hello, Bertrum.
Hello, Bertram.
And this is our review for The Last Faith. So, dear viewer, if you wouldn't mind, don't you dare forget to subscribe to this channel and like this video. The Last Faith was released a few weeks ago for the PPC, the Nintendo Switcheroo, the Sexbox, and of course my beloved PlayStation consoles. Daddy loves his PlayStation consoles, doesn't he? Haha, doesn't he?
You're weird.
Shut up, Bertram. Anyway, all of you commoners out there are probably wondering...
What? What is this?
I am so glad you asked, Barry Burton, you beautiful bearded bear-like bastard.
Oh, wonderful alliteration.
I don't know what that means. Anyway, The Last Faith is a gothic metroidvania, heavily inspired by both the Castlevania games and a little-known PlayStation 4 game by the name of Bloodborne.
But everyone knows about that game.
I was being sarcastic, Bertram.
I don't know what that means.
Shut up, Bertram. So, story. Step into the Last Faith's ravaged and untidy world as Eric. That's E-R-Y-K, not E-R-I-C. Eric awakens with no recollection of his immediate past. What did he do last night? Why is there bottles of booze everywhere? And who the hell is that elderly woman in his bed? Soon, Eric will be on a cursed mission that puts him in the path of ancient religions and pretty messed up chaps and chapettes.
Could you say that again in English?
Basically, you have amnesia, and you head off to find out who or what you are. Now, to do that, you'll talk to more weirdos than you would encounter at Tim Burton's birthday party. Explore locations darker and more sinister than the bloody Amityville house, and kill more enemies than Sylvester Stallone does on his lunch break. Now, speaking of killing enemies, that leads us very nicely into gameplay. So, like I already said, dear viewers, this is a Metroidvania, heavily inspired by games like Bloodborne. Now that means not only will you have to explore a very large map, figuring out how to progress, but you'll also have a pretty tricky time while doing so. Actually, tricky isn't the word I'd use. No. Fucking hard is the word I'd use to describe this game.
That's 2 words.
Shut up, Bertram. Now, if you've ever played a Souls game, you know the deal here, dear viewers. Overcome difficult enemies and bosses. If you die, you lose all your quote-unquote souls and have to recover them without dying, lest you lose all those precious souls you spent the last 4 hours racking up and threw your controller out of the window, killing a poor old man who just so happened to be walking past at that exact moment.
Oh, poor Herbert.
Yes. I hear that the Undertaker was finally able to pry the PlayStation controller out of his skull.
Oh, well, that's good.
Not really. Now they need to fill the gaping hole.
Polyfiller?
No. I think they just decided to put a hat on him. Cheaper that way.
What kind of hats?
Well, I have no bloody idea. Anyway, so what did I think of The Last Faith? Well, I'm so glad you asked, dear viewer. Now, I not only finished this game in about 35 hours, but I also obtained all 3 endings, and fought all 20 of the game's bosses, including 2 secret bosses tied to side quests, and the true final boss. So what do you think? Did I like this game? Well?
Oh, I'm sorry, were you asking me?
Obviously.
Oh, well, yes. I'd say you did like this game.
And you would be correct, Bertram. The music, the gothic aesthetic, the epic boss battles, the tough but fair difficulty, the attractiveness of the main character, the fact I had drool coming out of my mouth for 34 of the 35 hours I spent playing this game. The Last Faith is a contender for the best Metroidvania game of 2023. Oh, and I'll give that some thought while on the toilet.
What?
I knew I should have went before starting this review. Therefore, I declare that The Last Faith is splendid.
You know, O.C.G, I think people like it when you give a game a score out of 10.
Oh, fine. Therefore, I declare that The Last Faith is an 8. 0.8. 0.4. 0.8. 0.5. Point must go to the toilet right bloody now before I explode in my underpants. Out of 10. So, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, our review for The Last Faith. If you enjoyed this little review of mine, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. But please remember the single most important thing I always tell you, dear viewer, and that is to always stay obsessed with gaming. Say goodbye, Bertram.
Goodbye, Bertram.
Now, if you'll excuse me, are you still here? Oh, you must have really enjoyed this video then. In that case, you had better subscribe to the channel and check out our other content. Otherwise, you're a booby pants, and no one wants to be a booby pants.